Welcome to Subramani. Somebody asked me a very, I don't know, right, wrong question. What are the indicators to show that I should leave my father's house and go? I have no answers for that, and I'm sure you're a boy, because a girl does not ask this question. She just gets married and she goes out. She goes out to sometimes at 21, sometimes at 36. I'm not getting into any age at what you should do. What would you do if your parents were in a smaller place and you shifted to, say, a Mumbai or a Delhi or a Chennai for a job? You will get out of your parents' place, right? The earlier generation, which means I mean people born even in the 30s, 40s, and perhaps sometimes even in the 60s, had one advantage or disadvantage, that they had many siblings, maybe 4 or 5 siblings. So when you got married, you were just forced to go out. You had no choice. You had to go out of your parental house because you wanted a bedroom. Sorry. So therefore, that was the compulsion. Here, if you lose your, if you are working in a different state or in a different location, you will have to. It is only within the city that you have a choice. Now, suppose you are staying in Panvel, which is a part of Navi Mumbai, but for all the whole world it sounds like Mumbai, and you have a job in, say, somewhere in the western suburbs, somewhere in Malad. The time that is taken by road is pretty long, especially considering that you have to go in and out of Mumbai. And though you are both on the periphery of Mumbai, the connect is not so great, right? Of course, you can travel by train, etc. But it is possible that even if you are well off, your parents have a big house in Panvel, they have a 4 BHK, and you are the only son, or you have one elder brother or one elder sister who has left the house and gone. What criteria should you use to go out of the house? How much time does it take for you to travel from your place of residence to place of work? If it is more than 2 hours a day, I think you should shift out of your parental house, right? Or change your jobs. I don't know, one of the two. Is there any number criteria? I don't know, but if you did not have a choice, you would have shifted out, right? Your parents are in Pune and you have a job in Bombay. You would not be staying with them in Pune and traveling every day, right? Though there are people, I believe, who do that, but that is not really an option. So you will shift out. So I don't think there are any great financial conditions because of which you will shift or not shift. You should shift if you think and if you're confident that you can live on your own money. You're earning an X amount of money which you think is sufficient for you to live for under conditions that you like. Maybe you go over the weekend to your house and for getting your clothes washed and things like that. Maybe you will do that. I'm not even saying yes or no. Maybe you will get in. Maybe you will postpone your bike buying because you're paying rent of 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 a month, right? So you have to decide at what number you want to move out. Living independently might mean that you could always when you get married, you might leave the house. You may not want to create skirmishes unnecessarily. So that could be the criteria. I don't think there are any great financial criteria to say whether you should leave the house. But one thing is certain, if you are not earning too much, let's say you're earning 20,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees a month, you're a graduate, and you realize that, at 25,000 you cannot continue to have the same lifestyle which you have if you rent. Right? If you take a house on rent and you have to spend, let's say, 8,000 rupees out of 25, then you're shrunk to 17,000 rupees for your spending, right? But if you stay with your parents and you don't pay rent, then you get the whole 25,000. Now, as a parent, if he starts or if they start asking for money for food and electricity and things like that, I would be very happy, but Indian parents don't do it so openly, right? So stay in your house, put 8,000 rupees per month in an RD, offer to pay the electricity bill and the telephone bill and the society charges, everything for your house, because you are the person with the cash flow. You are not the person who owns the asset. The asset owner may not have cash flow, or he may have cash flow, but it is your job to at least offer rent or rent equivalent because you have started earning, right? If it does not matter at all, let's say he earns a few lakhs or a few million, and you are also earning say 1 million, then it does not then it is no longer a financial decision. It is just your comfort with your mother's cooking and all the infrastructure being taken care of. If you get up at 8 o'clock and leave for office at 8:30, or you get up at 8:30 and you leave for office at 8:45 with your breakfast done and carrying food in your hand because your mom packed it for you, well, then you got used to some luxuries which you may not get on your own. Look at all those things. It is definitely not a pure financial decision, especially within the same city. Like I said, if you are there in a different town, let us say they are in Coimbatore and you have shifted to Chennai for a job, you have to shift to Chennai for a job. You really don't have a choice. It's only when you are in Chennai and have a job in Chennai and you think you don't want to travel or whatever, or you want to travel less, that you shift. That is what you're asking. When there is a choice, right? I think you should exercise the choice, travel less. Even within, I mean, Bangalore is a bad example. Mumbai is not a great example in terms of travel times. So depending on all that, you should take your decision. I don't think any financial decisions, I mean, this is not so much a financial decision. Thank you.